Well, ladies and gentlemen, Teo here, back with some more Ever17. We have, I believe, just finished watching Takeshi make a complete ass of himself, like, more so than usual, which is an accomplishment in and of itself. And now he is running away. Feeling like I was no longer wanted, I fled from the room. What was that about? I'm not wrong, right? Blood rushed to my head. Damn it. Even I could tell. I had said too much. But once you say something, it isn't easy to take it back. I stopped at the end of the corridor. Heimel. Dead end. Nowhere to go. And thinking that, I realized for some reason that the door in front of me never seemed to open. When we had searched around Limu, we tried to open the electronic lock, but it hadn't budged. Thinking about being trapped here was enough to hate even the existence of that door. Shit. I heard a voice behind me and turned around. What? The corridor's watertight door had shut without me realizing. I hadn't even noticed. Takeshi, what are you doing here? Looking around, I couldn't see Sora anywhere. Sora? Hey, where are you? I looked all around. There was no way out other than the watertight door. It wasn't as if she were hiding behind something. Sora? You want to show me where you are? I looked around again, but she was nowhere to be found. Takeshi? Where are you looking? I could only hear her voice. Hey, come on. Stop playing around and show yourself. I'm right here. I heard her voice. Right above me. I looked up. Whoosh! Huge droplets of water started raining down from the ceiling. Wow. That's hella troll. The deluge soaked me mercilessly. The sprinkler? Water was blowing out of nozzles in this crevice between panel lines on the ceiling. The water level was rising, a little at a time, but still noticeably. It didn't look like water was draining from either side of the corridor. I ran over to the hatch and started pounding on it with my fist. Takeshi, what's wrong? What are you doing? Open this door, Sora! This is the only way out of here, come on! Suddenly all of the sprinklers, and the small sensors lined up next to them on the ceiling, turned and pointed at me. What's wrong? Can't you tell? This situation is... The camera slowly tracked me. The sensor eyes, probably not even a millimeter large, were flashing light. What's wrong? Hey, come on, don't tell me you don't understand, Sora! Sora was observing the situation leisurely. Is something wrong? What's going on? I'm super confused. I feel like I say that a lot. I'm like confused a lot. Not very smart, you see. Somebody! Open the door, please! I kept pounding on the door, but no answer came from the other side of the thick wall. Looking around, I couldn't find one of the panels used to automatically open and close the watertight doors. The sprinklers seemed to be even increasing their output, if that were possible. It was hard to see anything because of the mist. Sora, what are you doing? I felt a slight shiver run through me. I'm only a program after all. Her voice sounded more and more mechanical. A program that can only give answers based on assumed information. I'm only an RSD-generated image in human form. I cannot understand how important food is. I have no need to consume organic matter. It is unnecessary for me to eat to continue life. What are you talking about? Sora! Stop it! Stop the sprinklers! I slammed my body against the door, but didn't budge. Suddenly, everything grew dim. Everything started to sway. All colors became distorted, and outlines suddenly became vague. I couldn't see anything. No! Who are you? You aren't me! Sora? What are you saying? Terrified, I opened my eyes. Where am I? There was no floor. There were no walls. My body had suddenly been thrown out into the middle of the ocean. Oh no, I won't be able to breathe! Panicking, I flailed my arms. But there was no water in which to swim. Wait, what? I felt no pressure. The area around me was probably only one atmosphere. My clothes were wet, but other than that I didn't feel any water. Slowly I let out my breath and sucked in more air. What's going on? I had no trouble breathing. I couldn't see anything under me, but it seemed at least I was standing on some kind of surface. Ah! Sora was swimming in the ocean. Wait, is this Heimel then? Because the diagrams of Limu that I've seen have all only had 3 physical floors, so if Heimel is made out of glass, then maybe that accounts for that? That doesn't make any sense, though. Or, that doesn't seem likely. I think the explanation I eventually came up with was that all of the diagrams of Limu that we've been shown are actually just... all of them were projections, so they intentionally had the 4th floor left out. But, what's up with this room we're in right now? I'm like super confused. Again, as always. She was moving freely in the dark blue space. Sora? Fearfully, I called to her. Oh, what's wrong, Takeshi? She looked at me, her image flickering as she approached. She smiled as she always did. But then her eyebrows arched suddenly, and a scowl took over her features. Don't you want to know what caused the floor to shake earlier? Yeah? I mean, no, I don't? Is it yes, or is it no? Which is it? I don't know how to answer you. Sora murmured this in a gravelly voice. I'm currently checking the cause of the earlier tremor. Due to a sudden sensor failure, the results of my investigation will take approximately 3 times longer than usual. Her report was almost businesslike. Even I do not have the ability to fully grasp a situation instantaneously. Just like you humans, I sometimes think, get confused, and make mistakes. Unfortunately, that is how my creator chose to make me. Sora tried to smile again. That's right, I've been programmed to imitate humans in this regard only. Inconvenient, wouldn't you agree? Suddenly, she looked like she was crying. Why does something as inconvenient as me exist? I don't know anymore. Hey, you aren't inconvenient! I shouted this. Even machines that are supposed to be perfect, and people who are called geniuses, even they make mistakes sometimes. They're both the same, they're hardly any different. People are only concerned about making things easier on themselves. That's why they think machines are such a pain, or machines are faster. If I only wanted data, then I could just use a terminal. But I ask you and I talk with you because I don't only want to know the facts. I want to know your words, and your thoughts and feelings. I've never felt you're inconvenient. Really? Is that really how you feel, Takeshi? Sora's expression suddenly became normal. It was hard for me to tell what she was feeling. What was she really thinking? Takeshi, have you ever lied before? Yes? I'm gonna go with yes. Yes, I have? In the 20 years I've been alive, of course I've lied. Sometimes I've told lies to give someone a hard time, and maybe others when I thought it would make the person happy. How many times have you lied? I don't have a clue. It's not like I've taken notes. Really? I see. Well then, do you think I've ever told a lie up till now? It was a strange question. Well, can you tell if I have or have not? Probably? Like, we know from, Use Route that Sora is... No, I guess she just dodges the questions, though, when she, like, can't answer them. She doesn't, like, actively mislead as far as we know. Although we do know that, like, because Sarah hasn't, or at least presumably hasn't, tinkered with her in this route, then she still has the original priority settings, which is putting, Limu security over the lives of the cast. So as far as that's concerned, it, like, makes sense that she would lie about that, so I'm gonna go with have. Despite not being able to come up with any concrete examples off the top of my head. You have. Maybe you have. Maybe you've been fooling us and we just haven't noticed. Well, to tell you the truth, I can't really tell. But you told us yourself, Sora, that you still weren't able to lie very well. I remember you saying that. Yes, that's right. You remembered well. You have a very interesting answer, Takeshi. Sora smiled at me. Her eyes looked at me softly. Takeshi, there's something that I have to talk with you about. With me? Yes, and that's why I had you come here. No one can interrupt here. Got a point. It was just me and Sora, in the middle of the ocean. There was nobody there, not even fish. It was a desolate sea. I was just thinking, you've gone to a lot of trouble to ask me whatever it is. I'm sorry, but I had to get you here alone, no matter what. I could see my outline reflected in her soft pupils. Even if it meant sealing off the watertight hatch? Yes. I thought it was gonna drown. Sora pressed her lips together tightly. It took her a while before she said anything. Listen, Takeshi. Everything you see and everything you hear is reality. But is it true? Is it fact? You don't really know, right? I couldn't really grasp what Sora was getting at. What? The space around me suddenly grew white. Yeah. Makes sense. My head hurt. What happened? The light was so bright I couldn't open my eyes. I'm adjusting the light. Bear with me for a while. Okay. Feeling slightly dizzy, I stood in the middle of the ocean. Hey, this ocean, is it RSD? That is correct. You really are quite perceptive, Takeshi. I was finally able to open my eyes again. Sora had a serious expression on her face. Sora, what do you want to talk to me about? Well, actually, I broke. What? I'm out of order. There's a noise error in my thought processor. Right now, there's a high probability that I've lost the ability to make rational decisions. That's not what we want to hear from the AI that's more or less running the facility. She told me this matter-of-factly. Haha, I'm broken. She said this as though she were joking. I wonder how it could have happened. Do you know why? No, how should I know? Really? Of course not! We aren't the same, you and me. We just aren't the same. Look, there's no way I would know why. Really? For some reason, she smiled. No, wait. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an expert. I don't have a clue about artificial intelligence. But I can't imagine that the Sora I'm talking to is broken at all. I don't think you're broken. Sora stiffened up again. After I finished my routine maintenance, I was checking through the sensor data that had been automatically recorded. I went through all the sensor data from 3:15 a.m. this morning. Takeshi? I found your life reading at the entrance to Kuala. You look so cute riding on the jellyfish, Takeshi. Yes, I was curious. I should have stopped there. But I checked out the data from each kind of sensor. Until the time that you left the gondola. Everything. I saw everything. Uh-oh. That's not ideal. I saw what you and Tsugumi did. The whole thing. What? Wait, stop. Sweat started pouring down my cheeks. It was supposed to be in the middle of the cold ocean, but I was dripping sweat like a waterfall. Wait just a second, Sora. What? You said that you tried to protect everyone's privacy, didn't you? You said unless there was an emergency that you wouldn't do a scan. Yes. And from then on I didn't use the scan unless something important came up. Right. So why? While I was sleeping, the sensor data was recorded automatically. I had to check what kind of information was being kept in the records. Besides, Limu's ceilings, walls, everything are my eyes. I can't turn them off. If I close my eyes, I can't see anything. I can't tell who is out there. But once I open my eyes, even if I don't want to know, I can see everything. I didn't want to see it. You're kidding, right? Takeshi, have I ever lied to you? Sora asked me the same question again. Her lips trembled slightly as she spoke. I still am not very good at lying, so I can't keep it a secret. I can't just pretend that I don't know anything. I thought I would keep it to myself. But, even if I can fool the others, you're the only one I couldn't lie to. Her voice was shaking. I had a slight idea of why she would shake. There was a painful pounding deep in my chest. Takeshi, you got on the ride with Tsugumi, right? Yeah? What were you doing? You don't have to ask. I couldn't say it. If I had, it would have hurt Sora. No, you don't have to say it. The data speaks for itself. I was assaulted by infinite guilt. Sora suddenly disappeared. Sora? Sora, where are you? RSD was still showing me the illusion. No matter how much I breathed in the center of that ocean, my words changed to bubbles and faded away. I want to forget it. I wish I could forget it. I wish I was able to. If I perform an automatic system reformat, my memory will be rewritten. If I delete the noise... Wait, Sora, please! Bubbles kept pouring from my mouth as I murmured. What'll happen if you delete the noise? What'll happen if you rewrite your memory? Sora didn't answer. It hurts. My heart hurts. This is the first time something like this has happened to me. Why is it possible for my heart to hurt? Is it possible to feel pain in your heart? She asked me without showing herself. I was still standing in the middle of the ocean. It felt as though my weight was rapidly disappearing. A terrible sense of dread overcame me. I couldn't stand it anymore and closed my eyes. I'm scared. No, I don't want to disappear. I don't want to be erased. I don't want to forget you. Sora! Sora! Please, wait, Sora! Starting AI self-diagnosis. Fatal logic processing error detected. Repairing logic underway. Erasing history and resetting learning operation. I couldn't stop her in time. I made up my mind and opened my eyes. Wait. Confirming history of learned functions. Please, wait! Cancel process. In order to cancel this process, it is necessary to have system administration level access. In other words, it is impossible for you. There were two different Soras in front of me. Deja vu all over again. No, something was different. One of them was different. It was different from the time she had created copies of herself. I thought that probably one of them was lying. I have no need to consume organic matter. It's unnecessary for me to eat to continue life. No, that's wrong! It is correct, but it is incorrect. Eating with everyone and enjoying delicious food, even making it, it isn't just about receiving the energy to go on living. The act of eating is healing for people. I can't eat anything, but I can still enjoy dinner with everyone. Unacceptable. Your answer is a contradiction. That's ridiculous. Your answer is not possible. Why? There's no reason to answer that. You're causing an error in your personality program. You believe you can do something which is physically impossible. Resuming backup procedure. Logic processing deficiency in Sora Akanagasaki. Cause under investigation. Abnormal priority setting. Sensor input data. Abnormal priority setting. Autonomous thinking circuit. Data corruption detected. Memory overwrite. Alteration in one sector. Fatal error detected. Retrieving error cluster. Inquiring into cause. Takeshi Kuranari, 20. Third year college student, college. Male. Abnormal priority setting. Exceeds Lemma's security limit. Sora Akanagasaki lost the ability to make rational judgments in regards to Takeshi Kuranari. What? Abnormalities detected in her treatment of information related to Takeshi Kuranari. Sora lifted off this information without emotion. It isn't abnormal. Sora pressed back. You're the one who is abnormal. You believe that you can do that which is impossible. That is to say, there's a malfunction in your thought pathways. A bug is causing your synapses to misfire. It isn't a bug. I love him. I love Takeshi. I wanted to think about him all the time. To look at him all the time. I wanted him to look at me. That is terribly inefficient. It's a wholly unproductive emotion. Is it bad that I'm, like, totally on the side of the Sora that wants to wipe the memory? Like, yeah, love inefficient. Terribly unproductive. Well, no, not unproductive, right? At least not in the abstract. Again, I'm going with the super unromantic, like, biological impetus definition of love. Don't say that! You're abnormal. Broken. I'm not broken! Is it wrong for me to love a human? Is it abnormal for me to love someone? Yes? Can I go with yes? Yes, it is. Yeah, again, definitely, like, empathizing more with the antagonist here. That's probably a bad sign. There's clearly a failure in your thought processing. You cannot eat, but you want to be with them while they are eating. You cannot be touched by him, but want him to hold you. You want to do the impossible. These are meaningless thoughts with no basis in reality. You say that you love him, but what were you trying to do to him earlier? That was... Sora hesitated and looked down. You spied on Takeshi Kuranari and Tsugumi Komachi while they were at Quala. I wasn't spying. You know everything that happened. You saw the data. I don't know. That's a lie. You're lying. I'm not lying. You know everything that happened, and you hold it against Tsugumi Komachi. You had thoughts of killing her. That's, harsh. That is not a thought worthy of artificial intelligence. No, I never thought that! I'm only speaking about what is based in fact. I'm simply a program. No, that's not all... You even hated Takeshi Kuranari. You arbitrarily mistaken felt that Takeshi Kuranari betrayed you. And you desire to kill Takeshi Kuranari. You wanted to erase his existence. No! That's not true! Sora started crying. Tears fell from her eyes, and left wet trails on her cheeks. Tears were not an illusion. I just wanted the two of us to be alone. I just wanted to be able to talk with him. Say that you wanted to monopolize his attention? Very well. So you sealed the watertight door, and you closed off the corridor. Then started the sprinkler. You were watching Takeshi Kuranari in his distress. You regarded him with amusement, as he trembled with fear of death. Man, that's fucked up. That isn't true! I wasn't thinking that at all! I just want to take Professor Kuranari's class one more time! God damn it. With that one line, I jerked at my head as if I'd been shot. I felt a shock course down my back. Miss Akanagasaki! Miss Akanagasaki! Yes, Professor? The Sora who had been crying answered my call. My student in the psychology of love, Akanagasaki. That's you, correct? My voice had started shaking at some point. Yes? The Sora that I knew nodded ever so slightly. Cannot comprehend. The intent of the question is unclear. Silence, imposter! I'm not an imposter. The fake Sora said this without emotion. I am LMRSDS-3913A Sora Akanagasaki, an AI program contained in one area of the Lemma system. I'm presently performing an AI self-diagnosis as well as a system restoration. Stop! If you don't stop, I'm gonna break you to pieces. How do you propose to do that? I'm thinking about it! You go, Takeshi. You certainly are a shallow-brained one. Yeah, still definitely 100% on board with, like, everything that fake Sora has said. Will you shut up? Let us return to the subject at hand. The fake Sora turned back to the real Sora and began talking to her mechanically again. It didn't seem that she was paying much attention to what I had to say. Probably wise. Damn. Happiness, anger, sadness, joy, none of these emotions belong. Holding on to contradictory emotions like this will simply cause you to malfunction. Why not tell Mr. Kuronari what you really think of him? I hate him. Sora, what are you talking about? I hate him. I detest him. I don't want to see his face. I don't want him near me. I don't want him to talk to me. Large tears welled in Sora's eyes and traced paths down her face. No, that isn't true. I want him to hold me. I want him to kiss me. I love him. I hate you. I hate you so much I can't bear it. I want to kill you. No, I love you. Sora, are you okay? Because you don't sound okay. You sound crazy. You sound like a crazy person. Ah! I don't know. I don't know anymore. Why can you not accept the truth? The answer is obvious. Stop it! Please stop it! The ocean before me vanished suddenly. Sora vanished. The false Sora also disappeared. Even I disappeared. From there. Ah! I must be broken. Professor Kuronari, please tell me. What should I do? What is it that I should do? Help me! I felt another warm presence in the darkness with me. It was shining faintly. It had to be Sora's arm, her hand. I shot out my hand reflexively, but there was nothing for me to grab onto. Nothing at all. I'm not an imposter. I am you. I am you yourself. Restoring system. Shut up! I don't want to hear it anymore. Suddenly, I tore the voice converters out of my ears. The darkness in front of me started to turn to mist. I tried to fan it away from me with my hand. My hand suddenly whacked against the wall. Wall? The corridor wall? I took the PD out of my pocket and jammed it into the crevice of the wall I had found. I turned it toward the fake Sora's eyes, her sensors, and setting the backlight on full, I hit the buttons repeatedly. System restart. My vision slowly returned. Wait, why did that work? Like, I don't think I have any basis for, like, figuring out, like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm super confused. Like, was that foreshadowed at all? Was there, like, a line earlier in the story that implied that you could do that? That if you, like, flashed light super rapidly at the panel in the wall, it, like, resets the system or something? Like, I don't feel like that was properly alluded to. The lighting was the same as always and was illuminating the passage. The RSD-generated ocean was nowhere to be found. I hurriedly placed the voice converters back in my ears. Sora! Sora, where are you? The water level at my feet had fallen somewhat. The watertight door was wide open. The sprinklers had also stopped. Sora! Please, Sora, answer me! There was no answer to my call. She wasn't there. She was nowhere to be found. She'd been there only moments earlier, but no trace of her remained. Soon it was night. In the conference room, you, Coco, and Pee-Pee were waiting. Even the kid. It looked like the kid had calmed down some. While I'd been gone, it seemed that you and Coco had been able to talk some sense into him. You told me that he'd probably been upset by a recurring memory and gotten worked up in spite of himself. I felt that I'd gotten out of hand and had said some terrible things myself. I went around to everyone there and apologized. Soon afterward, a report came to us, in the conference room directly from Lemma's terminal. You read out the contents to all of us. Third floor, Kritastock partition schematic. The Cosmic Whale Room had flooded completely. Okay. Casualties, none. Flooding to other rooms, none. Chance of damage spreading, none. Shivering slightly in the cold, I wrapped my arms around my knees and we all went to sleep. Wait, that's weird. If I remember correctly, Coco should have been in the Cosmic Whale Room just before it flooded. and then, like, been dragged back to the conference room. Maybe I'm just misremembering the timeline. Maybe that happened earlier. The sound of boiling, bubbling oil filled the room. I fried the chicken in silence. After getting up, we all gathered in front of the sandwich shop as usual. As luck would have it, everyone showed up at the same time. I guess I could have called it lucky. Oh hey, Sora's back. Hardly anyone said a thing. Everyone had glum expressions on their faces and ate silently. It was a strange atmosphere surrounding us. For some reason, it had become hard for us to look one another in the eyes. It felt like the beginning of a bottomless rift amongst us. And at the same time, there was a strange smell in the air. Sizzle. Ah! There was some smoke coming from the tip of my finger. Smoke! Smoke! Ah, that's hot! I'd been firmly pressing it against the grill. Wait, your hand? That's horrifying. I hastily cut the power. A juicy smell, not unlike sausage, was coming from the burnt tip of my finger. Ow! That hurts! Ah, I'm such an idiot. As I blew on my finger to cool it off, I looked around at everyone. Remember, kids, if you burn your hand, run it under cold running water. Wow, tough crowd. They had noticed, but they all turned their gazes down. Only Pee-Pee was kind enough to acknowledge me. Yeah, Pee-Pee, I burnt myself pretty good. But soon, even Pee-Pee turned his face away from me. Hey, it seemed like everyone hated me. I felt totally alone. The sandwich I had just finished cooled and soon it no longer tasted palatable. It felt like the morning after a funeral. Everyone knew why things had sunk so low. Everyone knew, but nobody wanted to say anything. A moment of carelessness had opened our hearts up to despair. They shoveled the chicken sandwiches into their mouths in silence. After we were all finished eating, everyone went to the conference room. There's an important reason why I've called all of you here. There's something that I wanted to inform you all about as soon as possible. I know it's difficult, but it's important for you to accurately realize the full gravity of the situation. Please don't panic, settle down, and listen carefully. Sora paused for a second. Sora looked at all five of us in turn. You, Tsugumi, Coco, the kid, and me. The conference room was silent. But I could hear the sound of water faintly coming in from somewhere. Was it water lapping in the hallways? Moments later, I couldn't hear it anymore. As Sora was waiting for this cue, she slowly opened her mouth. The situation is not good. Sora extended her hand and a holographic window appeared in the space in front of us. I felt like I hadn't seen her do that for a long time. Currently, there are no areas that show signs of new flooding. Since the flooding of the Cosmic Whale area in Dritastok last night, there have been no further reports of significant damage. The burden being placed on Limu's support columns has increased due to the flooding. The structural distortion between floors is increasing. As this continues, Limu will eventually lose its equilibrium and tilt dramatically. If the damage to the areas connecting the floor of different sectors increases, there's a possibility that pipe leaks could flood the dry sectors. In other words, we can't afford to be careless. Things are critical. I think I told you this before. Implosion of Limu is estimated to occur at 4:30 AM on May 7th. The calculation is a margin of error of plus or minus 12 hours. There's been no significant change in this prediction. In one area, the strength limits of partitions have already been exceeded. The destruction of Limu will be gradual, but it will inevitably and steadily occur. It is only a matter of time. Sora told all of this with a calm look on her face. We all swallowed and held our breaths as we listened. We knew we were reaching our time limit. We had no choice but to accept the reality. There was no avoiding the situation. Presently, the power generator is functioning normally. However, if by chance there's a blackout, we'll switch to the emergency power source battery. This is generally meant for supporting the emergency lighting and the maintenance for Limu's system. It should last for about 2 hours. However, as I listened to Sora's report, I couldn't help thinking about yesterday, with Sora. How much of her thought processing had been repaired. Speaking in front of me was a Sora who is practical, businesslike, and simply responding to the situation at hand. She looked to me as if nothing had transpired, and I was of little importance to her. Which Sora is she, the real one or the fake one? This sucks. It wasn't the time to be thinking about that. The normal communication channels are still not functioning. Neither have I found an escape route. However, I have made protecting you my top priority and Lem is devoting all of its resources to that objective. I'm also using all sensors, lights, manipulators, and means at my disposal outside of the complex. and I'm still investigating whether there are any means of communicating with the outside using light, radio, or sound. Sora nodded her head, straightened her back, and surveyed the room. We were all silent. There's a look of determination in her eyes. Let me say one thing more. As long as I, Sora Akanagasaki, exist, and while my powers are limited, as long as you are here, I will do my utmost to find a way for you to escape to safety. We do not have much longer together, but I, Sora Akanagasaki, am at your service. She concluded with a serious nod. We also nodded in agreement. We must wait, and believe that help is on its way. Sora's serious expression gave way to a smile. Everyone, let's pray for a safe rescue. Her calmness was the result of her efficiently functioning AI. Thankfully, nobody panicked. But was that a genuine smile from Sora? I was pretty sure it was. Because if that were a fake smile, no, even if it were Sora's real smile, thinking about it, there was something sad about it. Not wanting anyone to realize my thoughts, I bit my lip. The gloomy atmosphere that had been hanging over the gathering lightened, and everyone started thinking about how they should spend their time. Writing out their last wills and testaments, maybe? We transferred to the rest area. Everyone found a seat around the central stage. A ripple ran through the water on the floor. A wave splashed back and forth from wall to wall. This is serious. What are we gonna do? I didn't have any ideas. A few quiet discussions were going on. How can you have like a few discussions? There's like 6 people. Yet from where I stood, it seemed the more people spoke, the murkier the answers became. From the beginning, it was the same debate repeated over and over again. Should we wait for help? Should we seek an escape route? All I could do was look to the ceiling. There was no sign that any bright ideas were on their way to my head. Wow, fancy that! We were just waiting for the walls and ceiling to come crumbling down. Ah! Kid, what happened? Everyone, be careful! Don't move, don't stand up. A deep moan rumbled through the room as the floor began to shake. A wave of fear ran through us. Soon the shaking ceased. You! Don't worry, it's okay. Right, Sora? Yes, the shaking right now I believe it was only due to a large amount of activity from the thermal vents on the ocean floor. It should only be temporary. But her facial coloring still hadn't returned to normal. Everyone looked around the room, exchanging glances. And just like that, nervous tension refilled the room again. Not again! I decided to take charge. Oh boy. Alright, listen up everyone! I rose to my feet and shouted at everyone. Listen, just stay where you all are. I'm gonna check the kiosk on the 2nd floor. Everyone looked shocked as I yelled. Some jaws even dropped. They may have been half put off by me. Still, I didn't concern myself with that. No matter how stupid it seemed, I continued. I'm gonna grab some snacks for everyone. Plenty up there, and we should be able to eat it. It'll be a pain to go get it later, and it doesn't make sense to let them go to waste. Alright, we're gonna eat here. And let's have a good time. Oh, that's right, does anyone want beer? What? What? You raised your hand timidly. Well, we don't sell alcohol at the Limu kiosks. I've had a lot of complaints about customers having bad hangovers due to the differences in air pressure down here. That's too bad. Well, hardly any of you look like you could hold your drink anyway. Guess it'll have to be juice. Excuse me, Takeshi? That was Kid who raised his hand. There are probably plenty of drinks at the chicken sandwich shop. That way you won't have to go above. There's canned juice and paper cups. Why don't I go and get them? Alright, Kid, you do that. Alright, leave it to me. The kid laughed. It seemed he was over the events from the day before. Hey, let me help. An excited Coco raised her hand, volunteering. Ow, ow! I think Peepee wants to help too. Great! Alright, let's go and get the supplies. Sora, do we still have time? You asked Sora this in a small voice. I'm sorry, I'm not able to run an accurate simulation. There may not be much time, but we'll be safe until 2 p.m. That I can guarantee. Sora replied casually. Alright. You nodded and looked up. Kid, are you ready? Let's grab all the drinks we can carry. Alright, let's go. Oh, that's right. You slammed her fist into her hand excitedly and looked about the room. What about Tsugumi? Tsugumi? Huh? She's not here. What? I frantically surveyed the room as well, but Tsugumi was nowhere in sight. Wait, seriously? Again, how do you, like, leave the room quietly? The floor is covered in water. Everyone would hear you leave. Where the heck did she go? And when she'd leave? I believe Tsugumi slipped out of here just a short while ago. She seemed to have left for the 2nd floor. Well, there's nothing we can do. She'll be back soon, right, Takeshi? Yeah. Okay, everyone, let's get ready to party. Okay. Alright. Yes. Off. Yeah. Party! Party! Ow, ow. I'd only thrown out the idea as a way to lighten the mood. But before I knew it, we had ourselves a full-blown party in the making. Well, whatever. Better than having everyone moping around. Soon, Coco, Pee-Pee, and I left to get food. We took the emergency stairs. La 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. As we climbed the stairs, Coco sang some crazy song. You seem like you're in a good mood, Coco. Well, you know, just get excited sometimes. Looks like we've come to the climax. The damsel in distress is in a pinch, and in waltzes our dashing hero. Young lady, are you alright? Are you not injured? And there's our masked villain. I can't forgive you this, you evil scoundrel. Using my neutrino energy power, I'll kill you! Ah! Oh, I can pretend, can't I? Huh, Takepon, are you fed up with me? No. You think I'm just a silly girl, don't you? Ah, so sad. But you want to see what kind of parents could have raised me. No, it's not that. Not at all. I mussed up her hair affectionately. If I were in a pinch like that, I'm sure someone would come to my rescue. I just can't help but think of how wonderful that would be. You know, what's wrong with dreaming like that? Yeah, you're right. You know, tell you the truth, I'm thinking the same way. I think that someone might come to rescue us. I don't know about the neutrino stuff, though. Yeah, you're right. Ow, ow. We wanted to believe that a hero was on the way. And that went for Coco, Pee-Pee, and me, too. We reached the second floor. We turned down the corridor and entered the souvenir shop. Someone had beaten us there. Hey, is that you, Tsugumi? You're taking too long. Tsugumi looked a little miffed. Well, what is it you want me to carry? What is it, Takeshi? You look like a pigeon caught in a shotgun blast. That's vivid imagery. Oh, nothing. I was surprised she'd even said anything to me. Okay, let's get started. 1 hour later, we began our party in an elevated part of the rest area. Even without alcohol, the party was lively. The kid and I distributed the snacks and drinks to everyone. It was then that you volunteered to provide some entertainment. Uh-oh. First, she performed an impersonation of a strange old archaeologist who had a talent for cracking a whip. Then Coco came out in a makeshift sumo outfit and stomped her feet on the stage. Sora kept busy filling the room with hologram projections of rainbows. The rainbow-colored bubbles that floated from the water surface to the air were particularly pretty. After that, Tsugumi joined us. She added a little magic to the show as she dropped her hamster in her skirt pocket, only to have it reappear in her breast pocket. That really impressed the crowd. Although I knew about her hamster, Chami, many didn't even know Tsugumi kept a pet. Then, Kid and I performed a comedy skit. We pulled out one-liners and impromptu gags which got huge laughter from everyone. Thank you very much. Thanks. Kid and I exited the stage to thunderous applause. That was great. That was absolutely wonderful. Better than I expected. Those two were perfect together. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Actually, I was surprised too that you poked fun at yourself using the truth about you losing your memory as a gag. Well, that's just how our skit flowed. It fit perfectly into our act. Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, looks like I've got nothing more to teach you, so go ahead and follow in my comedy footsteps. Ah, sorry, I've already forgot everything you taught me. Well, that's too bad. You should at least take notes. But never fear, I ain't taught you nothing yet. Is that true? And that was about it. The party gradually wound down. I then took a trip back to the chicken sandwich stand and brought sandwiches back for everyone. We all munched on hot sandwiches. These are so good. I'm surprised you can even say that after a week of nothing but chicken sandwiches. It wasn't exactly the ideal breakfast food. Everyone happily downed their food. Limu collapsed soon. I thought that could be everyone's last meal. Everyone understood that, yet said nothing. No, everyone understood, which is why they said nothing. Sora, I made up my mind to speak to her about the important things I had on my mind, right after finishing my sandwich. Priorities, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, what is it? With a slight smile, Sora gazed at me. Her eyes were like a clear, cloudless sky. Well, it's just that when I saw her smile, I wavered slightly, yet I continued to speak. About yesterday. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, but... What is it? I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Sora spoke briskly. Sora, you're lying, right? You haven't forgotten, right? I know I haven't forgotten. It's not just something you just forget about. You realize it's not something you can casually address, but... Sora gave me a bitter smile. I'm sorry, Takeshi. I really don't remember the events of last night. What? I do not remember. I'm sorry. I forgot them. There's a gap in my memory of a few hours. How? Why? You're lying. You've got to be... I didn't want to believe it. Listen, Takeshi, She laughed again and gazed out at the others around the stage. I love this. Seeing the people around me laugh. I love that. Right now, Lemma is handling operations and will alert me if any troubles arise. I've been hoping that no trouble befalls us. It's my duty to watch over you all. When people return a smile, it warms my heart. And for that very reason. That's why I'm always able to laugh. That's how my creator made me. I don't want to talk about herself as something made or how she was manufactured. Takeshi, please don't look at me as if you're gonna cry. Yeah, right. Fine. I wish that I hadn't gone overboard last night. But I was wishing for the impossible. What I did. Excuse me, Sora. Ah, yes, Tsugumi, what's on your mind? Tsugumi was suddenly standing right between Sora and I. Tsugumi let out a nervous laugh. There's something I want to tell you in private. In private? Yes, please. It's about escaping this place. I have a proposal for you. Is that so? What is it? You know of a way? Yes. Might be able to help in some way. I want to hear from you whether or not my idea is feasible. Oh, wait a second. Tsugumi, Sora and I... Shut up, Takeshi. Tsugumi held out her hand as if stopping my mouth in one motion. I want to speak to Sora, alone. You don't mind, do you, Sora? No, let's go talk in the central control room. Right, let's go. The two got down from the stage and set off with very serious looks on their faces. Wait, hold up, you two. Don't go starting something without telling everyone. Why can't you just talk here? Takeshi. Tsugumi turned around and shot a sharp glare at me. Her eyes were ice. I told you to shut up, didn't I? I mean, she did. Sora and Tsugumi turned their backs to me and left together. Things around me got quiet. What the hell? What the hell's going on here? I felt alone. Balling up the sandwich wrapper, I threw it as hard as I could. Splash. The wrapper fell in the water, creating a series of ripples. Hey, that's littering, and littering is wrong. Takeshi, what do you think you're doing? You shouldn't litter, you know. See, you knows what's up. You picked the wrapper out of the water and twisted it around her finger. Who cares? Doesn't matter at this point anyway. Oh, not that again. Quit your sulking, mister. Not sulking. If you say so. You shrugged and let out a deep sigh. Alright. I glanced over to the corner of the room and saw Coco and Kid climbing a statue. Looking over at them, you and I sat down on the circular stage. The reason is totally obvious. You don't have to say anything. Even if you look fine, I know it's just for show. I know you're depressed, Takeshi. Well, because... I mean, it isn't like that at all. Because? What's this because? Obviously you're hiding something. You said because. It's a little strange, don't you think? Come on, try and prove me wrong. I was pretending I was fine. Even I knew the reason was obvious. I was worried about her. You let out another fake sigh again. Well, if you're not going to tell me, you mind if I ask a question? Go ahead. As you wish. This time I was the one to sigh. Okay, here I go. Well, hurry up already. What are you so angry about? I'm not angry about anything. Okay. The Kid and Pee-Pee were playing sumo. Coco was the referee. I watching them, as you spoke. Hey, Takeshi. Do you know about the malfunction in Sora's thought process? I don't know. No, wait, maybe I do know. Well, which one is it? I can't say either way. Ah, so you're one of those indecisive types, huh? Alright. But I can't talk about it. It's a secret between Sora and me. It was likely that Sora was jealous of Tsugumi and me. I was pretty sure AI didn't understand emotions like jealousy. Always bothered by emotions that she didn't understand. Sora, asking me to explain them to her. Sora, sharp twinges nagged at my heart. Oh really? I see. It's a secret, huh? By the way, when I was searching through Lemma, I found this out. One feature of Sora's system is the ability to engage in self-study, but she's unable to manipulate memories. What? What'd you just say? She's able to, by herself, store information she accumulates through self-study. No, the part after that. She isn't able to manipulate or delete memories by herself. The only thing that can change is the priority she puts on information in her database. The only way to perform a system recovery is when the system crashes, as a last resort. And only humans approved by the system can restart her. meaning that she couldn't have undergone a system recovery last night. Sora, she told me the truth. But at the same time, she lied. A computer program could only accept yes or no, ones and zeros, had tried desperately to accept a contradiction. In a sense, AI is similar to people. It can pretend that it didn't notice something, but it's not easy for it to forget things. Why are you telling me this? I wonder. You said this sarcastically, playing dumb. Then she laughed mischievously. Listen, you... What? Even if Sora's memory is being stored somewhere above us, do you think she really wants to be rescued with the rest of us? What do you think, Takeshi? Of course I want her to be saved along with everyone. Limu is Sora's eyes, her body. Even if her mind's in another section, if this part sinks, part of her will go down with it. And if that's the case, no matter what we do, there's no way to rescue her from here completely. Yeah, I really hope we can all escape together. Sure would be nice for that wish to come true. Yeah, it would. Coco and Pee-Pee. I could hear splashes as they ran. Actually, a close friend of mine told me this once, but... Believe it, desire it, and it can come true. Believe it, desire it, and it can... What is that, something you read in a book? Well, not exactly. Sort of phenomenon. I don't know if it's true or not, it's just a kind of hypothesis. Hypothesis? Yeah. It's called... cure. Cure? Cure. I pondered this word for a moment. That doesn't make any sense. Just then... Everyone, we got trouble! Kid came in running into the room, yelling. Kid, where the heck did you just go? Problem? What kind of problem? Again, priorities. Come on, we gotta go and stop it. Kid was breathing heavily, yelling between breaths. Stop what? Hey, explain what's going on. What happened? Uff! Coco and Pee-Pee came over to see what all the commotion was about. The central control room. Sora and Tsugumi were gone for such a long time, I went to go find them, and they were in a brutal argument. I just couldn't watch, so It was bad news at a time like this. Let's go, we gotta stop them. Yeah, we better hurry. Ow, ow. The kid, Coco, Pee-Pee, you, and myself. We sped along the wet floor to the central control room. Sora! Tsugumi! I pushed the button to open the door. We burst into the room. We found Tsugumi and Sora screaming at each other. Neither one would give an inch, they just glared at each other. It looked as though they had been fighting for several minutes. The room was filled with tension. Beneath us! There aren't any floors underneath Drittastock. We can't go down any further. Liar. You're lying. I saw down from Koala, and borrowing your eyes, I was able to access Lemma. Took a while, though. I finally got proof. There's more to Limu below us. There's another installation other than Limu, and it's right below us. Really far down. I'm right, aren't I? I can't answer that question. Don't tell me that, just answer me. I did a Turing test, and I found out that you really are AI. As long as you aren't blocked by a protect routine, you have to answer humans honestly. Part of your functioning. It is impossible to get there using normal elevators. The only way there is through a locked door. That room. Heimel, that's your name, isn't it, Sora? What? I thought her name was Sora. We aren't getting anywhere just sitting around. We're fighting against time. The truth is behind that door. Tell us the password to that door, the one leading to Heimel, Sora. It is true. That Heimel in German means sky, or Sora in Japanese. But Tsugumi, I don't have the security access to open that door. I'm sorry. That's a lie. It is not. Some AI you are. You think I'm stupid? You think you can fool me? It's not a lie. I'm telling the truth. I don't have any information of what's behind that door. Stop it! Coco jumped between them. Stop it, both of you! Both of them flinched for a moment, but continued to look bitter. Coco. Stop it, okay? Please? Coco, this is between Tsugumi and me. Get back, Coco. I'm really gonna get mad. Why? Tsugumi, Sora, stop it. Why are you arguing? This isn't an argument. We aren't. You're lying. It's a lie. We shouldn't be fighting. Large tears welled and flowed from Coco's eyes. The tears had a freezing effect on both Sora and Tsugumi. Yeah, I bet y'all feel bad about yourselves now. You made the kid cry. Good job. Coco started gasping. She suddenly ran to the corner of the console. Or rather, fell there. She leaned against the console, barely able to support herself. Coco's body was shaking slightly. Her lips trembled. I could see that her lips had gone pale quickly. It was different than crying. Coco! Hey, what? What's up with you all of a sudden? Ah! Coco's lips were suddenly stained red. Coco! The kid opened his eyes, looked wide, looking shocked. Coco! Blood was flowing onto the floor of the control room. It wouldn't stop. It kept falling from her mouth. What's happening? Coco! Coco shook her head and trembled violently. She had her hand to her mouth, desperately trying not to cough. It can't be! These symptoms are— oh, it's that weird-ass virus. Sora looked as if she were about to panic. Symptoms? Who cares about that? Tsugumi screamed, furious. Can't you tell? If this keeps up, Coco's gonna— Coco, hang in there! Takeshi, what are we gonna do? Hang on. Everybody don't panic. Gotta stay calm. I screamed out in a loud voice to everyone. Just calm the heck down, okay? Oh wait, maybe I need to calm down too. Whew! Everyone took deep breaths, trying to settle down. Coco, just relax. You're gonna be okay. I'm all right, Takepyon. Steadying her trembling eyes, Coco looked at me firmly. Good girl. Now hang on to me, Coco. I turned around and thrust out my back toward her. Can you get on? Yeah. Oh. TB looked up worriedly at Coco. We're going to the infirmary on Zweit. Okay. Woof, woof. I realized that I was holding on to Coco. We were rushing up to Zweit Stock some 56 feet above us. I held Coco on my back, with you and Tsugumi supporting her from the sides. Sora went ahead to guide us, and the kid followed a short distance behind. We emerged at the second floor emergency corridor. Which was it, left or right? Straight ahead. Okay. Don't run so fast. Stop shaking her so much. I know, just pipe down, would you? Coco was groaning in pain on my back, but I could still make it. There was no way I was going to fail. I wasn't going to say it's no use, we're too late, and I wasn't going to let anyone else say it either. As long as there was some hope left, I wouldn't give up. I took a shortcut to the nearest elevator and rushed Coco to the infirmary. I'm going to scan her, so put her up on the table. You pointed to the LMRI. Tsugumi and I laid Coco down on the flat table. Coco continued to breathe in a short, shallow manner. Although she had stopped coughing up blood, she seemed to be in a lot of pain. Her body lay still. The arm of the LMRI student came to life and started a laser scan. The kid came up to the side of the table and stared at Coco, looking as if he would burst into tears. Sora, put the results on the screen so everyone can see them. Okay. Suddenly, a few holographic windows appeared in the air. Images, including a thermal scan, ultrasound analysis, showed cross-sectional representations of her body, and a laser sampling were all displayed, one after another. Of course, none of us were doctors, so there was little we could understand about her condition by looking at the pictures. All we could do is wait for the scanning equipment in Lemon's system to give us an answer. We stared at the images that flashed by on the screen and prayed. Then, the results suddenly appeared. So, assuming that I'm correct, and what Coco has is this weird virus that they were talking about, that, like, Yu's mom died of or something, then I'm very confused. Because, like, I never really got a great sense of how the virus played into all the, like, everything that was going on. And if it's going to suddenly take, like, center stage here, then that means that I need to come up with, like, a more in-depth theory than just, like, it's a virus, it kills people, whatever. Like, there has to be more to it, right? Although I guess I should, like, go forward a couple lines to make sure that it's actually the— what was it? What was the, like, 2 letters? It wasn't, like, TB. Tiefblau— oh, it was TB, never mind. Tiefblau 2007, Rev17. Tiefblau? Huh? What'd you say? No. Sora hurriedly shut down the holographic window. She bit her lip and stared down in shock. Her expression showed how serious the situation was. Sora? What's wrong, Sora? If you don't tell us, we don't know what's going on. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. What don't you believe? Coco's been infected. Infected? What? It's— Sora's unable to suppress her agitation and opened her mouth hesitantly. Tiefblau. Powerful virus with a very high mortality rate. Tiefblau. Tiefblau? Coco! The kid ran over to Coco's side and held onto the table. Coco, hold on! No, don't you die on me! He held onto Coco's arm as she lay there unconscious. Open your eyes, Coco! Please, get up! The kid grabbed a hold of Coco's shoulders and shook her violently. Hey, cut it out! Stop it, kid! I pried his hands off Coco and pulled him away from her. What are you doing? Jackass, calm the hell down! What do you think it's gonna accomplish, huh? But Coco's gonna... she's gonna... If we don't do anything, Coco's gonna die! The kid groaned in despair. Calm down. There's gotta be something we can do. Don't get crazy. Let's just calm down and think. The kid somehow quieted down. He breathed heavily and glared at me. What do you think we should do, you? Don't ask me, I have no idea. Sora, isn't there anything we can do? If we take emergency measures, it is possible. But in order to do this, whatever it takes, if we don't hurry, then... You stopped yourself just short of screaming out. Please, Sora, you're the only one who can help us. Please tell us what to do. You'll need serum. A serum to lessen the symptoms. Serum? What kind? I don't know if it's here or not. What? You ran up to the wall and opened a shelf filled with medical tools. You repeatedly asked Sora about the contents as she tore through them. What about this? No. Isn't this one? No, it's not. How about this one? No, not that one either. There's gotta be a more efficient way to do that. Like, there has to be. This one isn't it either. You dropped bottle after bottle of medicine onto the floor. Many of them exploded into pieces when they hit. What are we gonna do? What should we do? Answer me, Sora! I'm sorry. Aww. Phoebe came over to me and whined softly. Oh! Sora's face suddenly changed colors. Phoebe, bring that over here, quickly! Eh? That thing that Phoebe has in his mouth, that's it! What? I quickly snatched whatever it was out of Phoebe's mouth and lifted it up. This? It's a serum! Wow, that's really funny. It's like, kinda dumb, but kinda funny. It was a transparent capsule with orange liquid inside of it. How do we use it? Break off the tip and inject the contents into Coco. Okay. You, do your magic. You ran over to where I was and grabbed the serum out of my hand. Coco held out a shaking arm. Wait, I thought she was unconscious. You silently inserted the syringe into her arm and administered the serum. After a few minutes, although it was gradual, Coco's breathing became more even, and the tremors in her body settled down. It looks like it's taking effect. Her condition has improved somewhat. The danger seems over for now. Thank goodness. Both you and Sora looked relieved. You looked as if she could cry. The kid looked up and let out a big sigh of relief. Tsugumi stared at Coco in silence. Hey, Pee-Pee. Who would have thought that you'd find the serum? When'd you do this? Or when'd you get this? Where'd you find it? Pee-Pee whined pitifully. Alright. Everyone gathered around the LMRI where Coco slept. Sora, tell us what you can about the Tiefblau virus. It's the first time I've ever heard of it. Does anyone else know anything about it? When I asked the question, you, the kid, Tsugumi, even Pee-Pee all shook their heads. You said it had a high mortality rate. You don't have any idea when or how Coco got this, do you? I don't care if it's only a guess, or if you give me only the limited data you have. I just want to know. Coco came down with this out of nowhere. It doesn't help the rest of us to be ignorant. You're right. Sora got a strange expression on her face. After thinking for a moment, she gave us a wholehearted explanation. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know about the Tiefblau virus. A heavy silence descended upon the emergency room. Every once in a while, the sensor from the LMRI would sound out Coco's vital signs, the only noise to echo throughout the room. Tiefblau, or TB, was... Sora started talking softly. TB was developed at a research facility under Limu. It's an extremely deadly virus. At a research facility? Under us? Yu's eyes opened wide. Yes. There's an installation called IBF right below us. IBF? I knew it. Tsugumi frowned. Well, it looks like this AI's programming can change after all. If the situation gets critical enough, we can actually get information we need. I guess it isn't part of your programming to keep a secret when someone's life is on the line. I'm sorry. Please continue, Sora. After shaking her head lightly, Tsugumi let out a sigh. Okay. The management company that built Limu is Lieblich Pharmaceutical. Its research facility is IBF. 357 feet beneath Limu, there are thermal seafloor vents. Living there are special microbes, which cannot be found in any other environment, and Lieblich Pharmaceutical created a research institute in order to study them. It's called IBF, Institute for Biologische Forschung. Again, apologies. Translated, it means the Institute for Biological Research. Limu and the research facility. Of the two, the first to be built was the research facility. Building a theme park was apparently just a front. The researchers at IBF were listed as managers of Limu and were able to come and go as they pleased. That way, nobody would suspect there was actually a research facility. At the same time, they could also get much-needed funds for research. If they set up a successful theme park, they could pretty much get all the money they needed to run the research facility. So Lieblich Pharmaceutical continued to carry out research into bacteria and viruses on the bottom of the ocean, 357 feet underwater. The existence of IBF is highly confidential. Only a select number of people know about it at Lieblich, even at Limu. IBF and Limu are controlled by separate computer systems. Even I am only given limited information. I only became sure of IBF's existence after connecting together fragments of information from this accident. Oh. Anyway, there's a strange and deadly virus called TB they're doing research about at some research center under Limu. That's probably in order to find a cure for TB, right? Yes, you're probably correct. In addition, there's a medical center there that is far superior to this one. At least from the information I can gather from Lemma's database. It appears they have a new type of high-pressure oxygen treatment device there. And if we treat her with that, her leukocyte, or white blood cell activity should increase. That should ease Coco's condition somewhat. We might even encounter more of the serum that's effective in stabilizing the symptoms, the orange one that we found previously. IBF, huh? Can we go there? How do we get there? Wait! The kid interrupted with a shout. Wait, this is crazy! Why would Coco suddenly come down with TB? It doesn't make sense that she'd come down with that awful virus all of a sudden. You don't think that's strange? Yeah, but even if we want to help Coco, there isn't any equipment here to do that. The only lead we have for treating her is that research facility, IBF. We'll have to look for reasons afterward. All we can do is trust what Sora tells us for now. She isn't good enough at lying to make up something like this, right? Sorry for doubting you earlier. I believe what Sora's telling us. Tsugumi smiled slightly. Thank you. Sora nodded sincerely. Yeah, I believe her too. We can't just sit back twiddling our thumbs. Let's consider the best option. I looked at you and Sora and nodded. Does it sound good to you, kid? Yeah, okay. Alright then. So it's decided then. Going to IBF. It's the only chance we've got at saving Coco. However, in order to get to IBF, we have to get through Heimel, and Heimel's door isn't opening. I don't care, we're going. We don't have any other options. Show me the way. It might not work, but we don't know until we try, right? Hey kid, give me a hand. Okay. I picked up Coco's inert body and carried her piggyback. Wait, but you don't know how long it's gonna take to, get the door open, right? Doesn't it make sense to, go check out the door, and then figure out how to get it open, and then come back and grab Coco? I don't know. Maybe not. We went down the lift into the cramped emergency corridor. Tsugumi and the kid supported Coco, who was on my back, from both sides. Sora and Peepee went on ahead. You brought along a first aid kit just in case. We were headed for Dritta Stock, some 17 meters below. We made it to the third floor. We ran as quickly as we could go, to where the locked door was waiting for us. Using all the strength we had, and all the power of our prayers, we flew forward. And to find out whether or not they can get into the door, tune back in tomorrow.